In this Autodesk Maya tutorial, we're going to import a 3D scanned mesh of a head, rotate it around, scale it so it's real world size, as well as set up our project and make sure all our image textures are connected. In order to work in Maya, you always want to set your project. So go to File, Set Project. This will open up your Maya projects folder. You can click the new folder icon and say Head Scan, then select Set. It'll ask you if you want to create a default workspace for Maya. Generally, you want to create workspace.mel. The next step is not necessary in Maya, but it's a good idea when setting a Maya project to make all the project folders. So go to File, Project window. It should show your current project, Head Scan. These are all the folders that Maya uses by default, and click Accept. Then go to Windows File Explorer or Mac Finder. Inside your Maya projects folder, you'll see your Head Scan project. If you open this folder, you'll see all of these assets and objects. Here I have a head scan that has a PNG texture and an OBJ. It also has a material file, but we're going to ignore this for right now. So if I bring the OBJ into my scenes folder, and then I bring the texture into my source images folder, then when I'm in Maya, I can import those easily. In order to import the 3D head scan into Maya, go to File, Import. Then inside Scenes, we can see this OBJ file. I'll select Import. It's going to come in really huge because Maya works in centimeters and most 3D scanners scan in millimeters. Select the mesh, then click the Attribute Editor, and make sure you click the far left panel right here. Then we'll scale everything by 0.1. So now this is real-world scale. By default, when you import the OBJ, it will be assigned an OpenPBR shader. In the Attribute Editor, we can select OpenPBR shader over on the right here. And then under Color, if you click this little checker box, we can select File, then select this folder. Then inside your source images, you'll see this PNG file or JPEG from your 3D scan. Select it and press Open. We don't see anything because we need to click the texture button. By clicking this checkerboard here, we can also press 6 on our keyboard. Now we can see that our texture has been applied. Often with 3D scans, there's all kinds of shininess involved because that's just the default way that many 3D scan materials are made. So if we select the mesh, then under the OpenPBR shader in Maya, change the incidence of refraction from 1.5 to 1. Then if I off-click, you'll see that everything is now not so shiny. But we still have this 3D scan mesh facing the bottom. We don't necessarily want that. In order to rotate this around and position it so you can edit it later, click right here and have orthographic view. That way we can really see what's going on. Click to the side here. This may be different for your particular scan import. I'll press E for rotate. And now I can rotate this to where I think it needs to be. I can press W to move it up. Then I'll rotate around this way with the view cube. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to see what's going on because we have all of this viewport display. So just click Show, Viewport, and then down at the bottom, unclick Selection Highlighting. Now, if I press E, I can still rotate it fine, but I can see what's happening. So I think this is pretty good, although depending on what you want to do, a lot of times it's a good idea to have the nose right there in the middle so that you can use some mirroring and different polygon modeling exercises. So once you have everything here, if I click on the Attribute Editor and I go to the very beginning, notice that it has all these translations and rotations and scales. I don't want to have that. I want to freeze the transformations by clicking this little snowflake here. And then now I have a scale as 1 and all the rotations are fixed. So now I have a new imported 3D scan. I've applied the OpenPBR texture to it and everything is inside my project folder in Maya. Happy 3D modeling.